I don't know what happened there. My phone cut off, but I get frustrated. Do you know when you're reading headlines? Imagine this. Imagine you're reading a headline that's going all around the world, and it says you said something that you didn't say at all. It is frustrating. I'm glad I videoed it so that people can see what they do and what they've done, because they've done it for years. Years and years, even down to the documentary I done 10 years ago on Channel 4. They just changed words that I said and then put subtitles underneath to drill home their message. So yeah, I get a bit angry, but it's frustrating. And it's more frustrating. I'm just happy that the public can witness it. So if you haven't shared that Sky News video, share it with everyone. Make sure, because I don't blame people. You know, some people who don't like me, they don't like me based on what the media have told them I say, told them I represent, and told that the person the media have told them I am. I always say to people, don't listen to what the media say I say. Listen to what I'm saying. And then they also know that people read the headlines. Most people only read headlines. So that's why they changed the wording in the headline, as though to make me look like I'm talking about my own opinions, which I never was. And yeah, how come that froze again? Do you know what I mean? But other than that, other than turning up at court, and I actually really enjoyed my day at court, which must be surprising because the people who are pulling the strings won't want me to enjoy my day at court, but I'm actually really looking forward to going back to court on the 23rd of this month. I don't think I'm in that difficult position because I'm just going to stand my ground and stick to what I'm saying. I've got nothing to be ashamed of, I don't think. Again, I think that reporting restrictions will be lifted and a lot more details will come out soon. Very soon, and there'll be a lot more going on. But yeah, I share both the short and the long versions together. Hope someone reads my ramblings. So that's it. Share the hell out of Sky News fake news and Jason Farrell. What sort of journalist? You know, if you're a journalist, any of you journalists watching this, you're supposed to report the truth to people. Surely you signed up to be journalists in order to bring the news. Sky News. You actually invented the news. You just made it up. And yeah. But anyway, if you haven't complain. I thought I'd have my little rant about Sky News and to the rest of the British media. Anyone watching this, someone direct this to Nick Ferrari. Nick Ferrari, you asked why I don't trust the media. Watch the Sky News. Make a comment on it. Well, how come you haven't already had your little radio show talking about it? If it was something negative about me, you'd all be talking about it. Every one of your little hosts would be having a big phone-in about Tommy Robinson joining UKIP or something. Why don't you talk about the fact that a mainstream news broadcaster has absolutely invented and created a fake story just to paint someone in a negative light to the entire world? That's not newsworthy, is it? Do you know why it's not newsworthy to any of these journalists? Because they all do it. And they all know they do it. And they all don't actually care. So long as it paints me in a negative light, so long as it paints, because remember, most of these journalists are middle class, living in their little bubble, and they actually have contempt for the working class. They actually despise us, many of them. They don't like us. So they don't care. They do not care. That's the state of British media. Unbelievable. Dominic Marsh, how you doing, Dom? I'll be in the morning, mate. So yeah. And UKIP, look at the attack. I just gutted because they went, it's just every time. Do you know when I was in custody? When I was in custody, there was a report about the Free Tommy demonstration. Now, if you didn't have internet, if you did not have internet, I'll tell you what Channel 4, I was going to do a breakdown video of this, but Channel 4 News showed 30 people standing with cans of beer. They zoomed in on 3 men with cans of beer, yeah? And they zoomed in on a dog with a pit bull or something with a Union Jack tie around it. And then they said, there's not many numbers here. and they say they're not far right, but they look far right. And then they zoomed in on a man with a tattoo on the back of his head. That's what they showed. Now, obviously, when I've come out of custody and I've looked at the videos and I've seen 20,000 plus people there, I've seen rows of older women, some of them who bought deck chairs. I've seen families. I've seen a complete mixture and diverse group of people at the demonstration. And what you have to understand is that those news outlets would have gone and spent the entire day looking for the worst visual individuals they could that would help them to paint a narrative of the story they want to tell. Not gone there and just reported the news for you to understand. Not gone there and said, whoa, look at all these people that are here, and showed a different variety of people, shown any black people. You know, I said the whole time I led the English Defence League, every demonstration we had a non-white person speak. You wouldn't know that if you ever watched any of the media, because they just cut it all out. It does not fit the agenda. It does not fit their narrative, so they absolutely cut it out, and they zoom in and look for the whatever paints the picture. So if they can get an angry-looking man, it's like, or they take still photos and they say it's someone doing a Nazi salute. I remember I went on one channel programme with Andrew Neil, and he showed me still photos. He said, look at this man doing a Nazi salute. I went home, I went through videos of Andrew Neil, and I just took a still photo of him doing a Nazi salute. And I put it up. I put one up of Barack Obama doing a Nazi salute. I put it up of every celebrity you can think of doing a Nazi salute. It's not hard. It is not hard, but it's wrong. And it's not real, but they all do it. They all do it. So, yeah. That is why Sky News' video, I think, has 50% less views than the video I put up. And I'm not Sky News. I'm not a massive news corporation with hundreds of millions of pounds to propagate news. I'm just a working class kid sitting in my kitchen. That's how embarrassing you have become. That is the mainstream media in the UK. You're getting outdone by just kids sitting on their phones. You don't even realise you're old news yet. No one trusts you. And you've just explained why. I'm going over myself now, but good night. And as I said, I'll confirm tomorrow, but I think my court case is definitely going to be on the 23rd. So I'll confirm it. I heard someone travel from Hong Kong last time to come there. So I say a massive thank you to every person that travelled there. And I'm hoping that there'll be a few more guests from overseas, reporters, because we can't rely on the press. We need alternative media from everywhere to be covering the stories. See you later. Kev Mack, what's happening? Andy Saxon, good night.